Hey guys, I wanted to take a minute and address what WhipCast really is. I was kind of vague about it in my previous video, so in this video I just want to explain exactly what this new podcast is about. Primarily, I started WhipCast to answer all of your questions, mostly on YouTube. I realized over the years that there was no possible way for me to keep up with all of your questions in a manner such as typing a response back to you. A lot of your questions are very extensive, and that's understandable for someone who is just getting into the craft of whip making. There's a lot of questions, and that's okay. So I want to answer your questions, and I felt bad because a lot of you, I'm sure, assumed that I was ignoring you. And that's not the case. I had so many questions from you, I decided one day, hey, you know what? Podcasts are becoming pretty popular, and I think that this will be a quick way to address all of you. So every time I come down here, I try to come down here once a week. I sit down and I literally will just open up my YouTube community page, and I scroll through and literally just read your questions live in the air. And a lot of these I don't do any preparation work for. I don't sit down here before I hit record and go over the questions. So this is just kind of uncut live. So for all of you who watch my videos and leave comments on YouTube, if you're not seeing any responses anymore to your written questions and comments on my videos, it's because I'm answering them on my podcast, WhipCast. And you can find that on iTunes and Stitcher. It's been very successful so far. I want to say that I've answered probably about 98% of all of your questions within the past month or 2 months on YouTube. Now, WhipCast isn't only going to be a place where I answer questions. It's also going to be a place for discussion. It's going to be a place where I kind of talk about my personal life as well, just different things that I enjoy, different hobbies, what I'm doing, just to try to make it a little bit more interesting and fun to listen to. That's assuming that my life is interesting. I like to think it is. I'll let you guys decide. In addition to that, my goal is to, in the future, have different whip makers and different whip crackers and performers on the show. I would love to have, whether it be via Skype, whether it be here in person, I would love to have different whip makers on the show and just kind of interview them, talk to them, how they got started, and so on, who they are, and just talk about the craft one-on-one with different whip makers. I'd like to even have my brother on the show. So it's not even going to be, you know, strictly about whips. You know, I'm gonna stray away from the path of whips now and then because I think it's just gonna make it more fun. So yeah, that's WhipCast. I got my microphone here, and this is the little recording studio where all these podcasts are taking place. But if you would like to be on this podcast, if you're a whip maker, if you're a whip cracker, you just want to talk about fishing, contact me, because I'd love to have you guys on the show. I'm not great at sitting here and talking by myself for over an hour, but I will if I have to. So, invitation to all of you who wants to be on the show WhipCast, contact me. Thanks guys. I've got a tutorial in progress. It's about 50% done. This is a tutorial on how to make a matched pair, some tips on making a matched pair identical. Now I'm coming up to the second place where we need to drop some strands, and that should be done in about a week. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in that tutorial.